Seaside holidays came of age during the Victorian era for millions of British people wishing to escape hectic working lives for vacation destinations. Originally, these places were only affordable for wealthy families seeking healthy sea air and sea bathing. Though with the introduction of new train routes from the 1840s onwards, these coastal destinations became accessible to the working classes. For example, return train fare from Leeds to Scarborough would cost 19 shillings, equivalent to £56 today. Within a few hours train travel from industrial cities and towns, popular Victorian seaside holiday destinations were now accessible to large parts of the population. Holidaymakers would spend anywhere from one day to the whole summer season at these seaside locations. Depending on the class of holidaymaker, various seaside towns would appeal to different tastes and social customs. Promenade piers, originally built as landing places for boats, also entice visitors to seaside resorts with all kinds of entertainment venues and attractions. One paid a fee to enter certain areas on these piers like dance halls, passing through kiosks or turnstiles for admittance. While enjoying Victorian seaside holidays, you would be wearing more clothing than today, especially those in the upper classes. They wore more formal fashions while strolling on the promenade pier, known as being on show, with hats and parasols for women to protect them from the sun. Why? During Victorian times, tans were associated with labor and working class occupations. With postcards available from the post office beginning in 1870, you could share memories with family and friends that could not accompany you on your vacation. Now, let us present 8 popular Victorian seaside holiday destinations. Presenting 8 popular Victorian seaside holiday destinations. Blackpool. Opened in 1846, Blackpool Station provided rail access to this famous Victorian seaside destination. Then, with the opening of the North Pier in May 1863, designed by Eugenius Birch, crowds of holidaymakers increased dramatically. As a result, the North Pier Promenade had to be expanded as well as the main seaside road. Holidaymakers came from across all societal levels, with a treasured break for the working classes from long labor hours and occupations like mill work. With the introduction of the Bank Holidays Act in 1871, masses of working-class people would save funds throughout the year to enjoy seaside holidays. Seaside Rock, the iconic candy invented in 1887 from a sugar and glucose recipe, fish and chips, candy floss, and ice cream were popular treats at Blackpool. Of Blackpool's 3 piers, the working classes were drawn to 2 of them, being entertained by puppet shows, open-air dancing, and arcade amusements. For the upper classes, North Pier, the oldest, provided orchestral concerts and upscale entertainment options. In the year 1901, it was estimated that 2.5 million visitors were in sight of Blackpool Tower, which was opened in 1894. Scarborough, Britain's first holiday seaside resort town, picturesque with ancient castles looking over the north and south bays. With a book published in 1660 mentioning the wonders of the water from the mineral spring at Scarborough Spa, this English seaside resort was born. The railway reached Scarborough from York in 1845, dramatically increasing Scarborough's holidaymaker population. Scarborough North Pier was a steamer and pleasure promenade designed by Eugenius Birch and opened in 1869. Morecambe. Growing from humble beginnings as a fishing village, Morecambe became popular with holidaymakers from cities like Bradford and Leeds because of direct rail links beginning in 1848. Surprisingly, this was not even the official name of this Victorian seaside holiday place until 1889. Various forms of entertainment were available on the Central Promenade Pier, which opened in 1869. Shows on offer included everything from comics to concerts to theater to music. The Central Pier was commercially successful, with extensions made in 1871 and 1898. Margate. One of the grand seaside resort locations in Victorian England, Margate had a beautiful Victorian pier, the Jetty, designed by the famed Eugenius Birch. This pier was rebuilt from its original wood and opened in 1855 as the first iron pier in England. Margate had been fashionable as a seaside resort destination since the middle of the 18th century, entertaining London residents sailing down the Thames. These wealthy city dwellers traveled to Margate for sea air, sandy beaches, and health reasons. Rail transport was established with the Margate Sands Station opening in 1846, increasing Margate's popularity during Victorian times. Brighton. Before it became a fashionable Victorian resort area, Brighton was a small fishing village. Then, at the close of the 18th century, local physicians began spreading word about the health benefits of sea bathing and drinking seawater, establishing Brighton as a health resort. As a result, Londoners and day trippers began arriving in the area. The numbers of holidaymakers increased dramatically when rail links were established in 1841. The West Pier Promenade at Brighton was opened in 1866. Designed by the famed Eugenius Birch, it could hold up to 3,000 people at a time. Brighton's Chain Pier opened in 1823 as one of the first seaside piers and lasted until its demise by a storm in 1896. The Royal Pavilion was a seaside royal resort built for the future George IV. Construction started in 1787 with updates completed by 1823. Eastbourne. This Sussex coastal destination was already well known to the Victorian upper classes. Eastbourne would continue catering to them, as the planned resort town was designed to have stately seaside townhomes and tree-lined boulevards. Its grand 1,000-foot pier was designed by Eugenius Birch. Opened in 1870 and completed in 1872, this pier eventually held a 1,000-seat theater, 2 saloons, an office suite, and upscale entertainment. Worthing. Formerly a small fishing hamlet, Worthing started to become a holiday seaside resort location in the late 18th century. The reputed benefits of local sea bathing and drinking seawater helped fuel its growth from wealthy Londoners looking for health cures. Due to frequent visits by the upper classes and royals, along with its close distance to Brighton, its reputation grew as a preferred holiday destination. Rail links with London were established in 1845. Even Oscar Wilde summered in Worthing, writing the importance of being earnest here. Worthing Pier opened in 1862, having its promenade upgraded with a 650-seat pavilion in 1888. Rhyl. Featuring a fine sand beach along the Irish Sea, Rhyl quickly became a favored Victorian seaside destination for those living in Liverpool and Manchester. When the rail link arrived in 1848, holidaymakers from London also flocked to this elegant seaside destination. Its famous Promenade Pier, the first in North Wales, opened in 1867 at a length of 2,355 feet. It even had a miniature train service on the pier itself. Its Grand Pavilion Theatre was completed in 1891 at the promenade end of the pier. Victorian seaside resorts offered enjoyment for millions of holidaymakers. With reduced travel time due to rail links, the sheer number of vacationers changed entire British coastal towns as the popularity of seaside holidays increased. These 8 popular Victorian seaside destinations are just a small representation of the fabulous British resorts which came of age during the Victorian era. Thank you for watching this episode of the Victorian Diary. We show regular episodes which reveal life in the Victorian Age. So please remember to like, subscribe, share, and reveal this knowledge of Victorian times for the benefit of everyone.